Donald Trump is so desperate to get the news media to stop talking about the Epstein files that he and his administration are throwing crap on the wall like a gang of chimps, trying to see what will stick. So now, in a diatribe meant to keep the racists loyal to Trump, the convicted felon sitting in the Oval Office is trying to tell professional sports teams to rebrand. It's a desperation move because so far, nothing else has worked. Not telling his base they're stupid, not blaming it on Democrats, not his fat ankles, and certainly not Tulsi Gabbard spouting Obama conspiracy theories, and then threatening to arrest Obama afterwards. And why wouldn't Trump play the racism card when it's worked so well for him before? I mean, we're talking about the guy who jump-started his first campaign by being racist about Mexicans, and then this time around went out there and said,
in Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in.
And it's not like racism is something new for Trump. His father made his money by discriminating against black people. And who could ever forget Trump complaining to Congress about how some of the Indians are just faking it to get a casino?
Is this you discussing Indian blood? We're going to judge people by whether they have Indian blood, whether they're qualified to run a gaming casino or not?
That probably is me, absolutely. Because I'll tell you what, if you look at some of the reservations that you've approved, you, sir, in your great wisdom have approved, I will tell you right now, they don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like the Indians. Now, maybe we say politically correct or not politically correct. They don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like Indians to Indians, and a lot of people are laughing at it, and you're telling how tough it is, how rough it is to get approved. Well, you go up to Connecticut, and you look. Now, they don't look like Indians to me, sir.
Thank God that's not the test of whether or not people have rights in this country or not, whether or not they pass your look test.
Depends whether or not you're approving it, sir.
No, it's not a question whether I'm approving it. It's not a question whether I'm approving it. Mr. Trump, you know in the history of this country where we've heard this discussion before, they don't look Jewish to me.
Oh, really?
They don't look Indian to me. They don't look Italian to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a test for whether people could go into business or not go into business, whether they could get a bank loan. You're too black. You're not black enough.
I want to find out. Then why you're approving for Indian? Why don't you approve it for everybody then, sir? If your case is non-discriminatory, why don't you approve for everybody? You're saying only Indians. Wait a minute, sir. You're saying only Indians can have the reservations. Only Indians can have the gaming. So why aren't you approving it for everybody? Why are you being discriminatory? Why is it that the Indians don't pay tax, but everybody else does? I do. Why is it that I pay tax?
So that's just Trump at his finest, isn't it? The absolute and utter ignorance of American history, the boiling down of everything as a transaction, and the absolute whining that somebody else is getting an advantage that poor Donnie never got. You almost feel sorry for this stupid little racist until you remember that after this testimony, he more than likely got on an Epstein jet. So it's a surprise to no one that Trump has never had any respect or understanding of the indigenous tribes and cultures of America. And that's what made his latest social media post a classic Trump diversion tactic. Trump posted this: "The Washington whatevers should immediately change their name back to the Washington Redskins football team." There's a big clamoring for this. Likewise, the Cleveland Indians, one of the 6 original baseball teams with a storied past. Our great Indian people, in massive numbers, want this to happen. Their heritage and prestige is systematically being taken away from them. Times are different now than they were 3 or 4 years ago. We are a country of passion and common sense. Owners, get it done. You really don't know where to begin with this, but why not start with Trump being an idiot who knows nothing about the history of anything? There were 8, not 6 American League teams, and you can't call them original since the National League got off the ground first. So, history has never been his strong suit, and neither has the truth. The claim that there are massive amounts of Native Americans who want the name changed back to Indians is a fiction planted deep in the demented mind of a malignant narcissist. But there is no one, and I mean no one in the world, who is more adept at turning what they are doing into an accusation against their opposition than Orange Mussolini. The heritage and prestige of Native Americans being taken away is exactly what Trump and the white nationalist movement he depends on is responsible for. Now Trump is the guardian of Native American culture? See what I did there? And yes, you have to love how he attempts to brag that times are different now than they were 3 or 4 years ago. In other words, Trump is bragging about having brought racism back into the mainstream. Well, take a victory lap, cowboy from Queens. But the crusher has got to be the illusion of him commanding the owners to get it done. See what I did there? Will Trump tap into something with this post? Sure he will. Both teams didn't do a great job with their rebranding. The Washington Commanders was particularly bad, and nobody outside of Cleveland know how they settled on the Guardians. That's just a classic case of inside baseball. See what I did there? So, okay, fine. Trump will tap into the sentiments of a small amount of people, but will it work to divert attention away from Epstein? Well, we might want to consider that Trump knows a thing or two about rebranding. After all, the famous Epstein jet was rebranded into Trump's campaign plane, but, Trump didn't know Epstein that well, so no, not likely that is going to divert attention from Epstein. That story is going to go into overtime. See what I did there? I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.